Hey, what's up guys, this is Eric. Today we're going to be installing an Avermedia Game Capture HD. I'm going to put this in my son's room because he likes to capture his gameplay and put them on YouTube for, other people to see and see how good he is or what he says he's good. As you can see, this box says that it's in full HD 1080p. However, when it comes out of the box, it's actually 1080i. But if you read the fine print down underneath here, that you would have to go and download the newest firmware to get the 1080p. A lot of people don't realize that. And then when I see videos on YouTube and so forth, they say, no, these people are lying, it's only 1080i. But you gotta go download that latest firmware. Also, this thing only captures out of the box in AVI. So a lot of people who like to video edit with Sony Vegas and so forth are not able to use it unless you convert it. But with the new firmware, they converted it to MPEG 4. So that's a nice change that you can use with other editing softwares. Just a quick, I have one already installed myself. This is the Easy Recorder Plus version. The only difference is with this one has an IR blaster and a timer function to act like as a DVR. But I'm just using it to record off my DirecTV. It's pretty cool. It's a little finicky. It flickers after each recording. Does some funny things with my TV, but me being somewhat of a tech guy, you expect such things, so for an average user, they might find that very annoying. Another cool thing about this box is that it has a bay for a 2.5 internal hard drive, SATA. If you don't want to use it, it's got this front USB port. It's USB 2.0, but you can use it for your recordings. I did a few of my first recordings with a thumb drive. But I did install a 320 gig SATA drive inside of it, which I am also doing with my son, and I will show you. Then here, it's got a really cool easy bay for anyone. You don't have to be technically advanced to do this. You just pop open this thing. I've already installed it. Basically, see, people don't show you this, but you just pop it out, remove it, and so forth. So at this point, if you were going to use it like this, you would just use the front USB port. But since I have the hard drive, I just install it, push it in, push for a snug fit, and that's it. Another cool feature of this box is that it's got a pass-through. So the unit does not have to be on for the video to pass. However, it's only in component. So if you're using HDMI, Xbox 360s, you can go HDMI or component. PS3, you can do the same thing. Wii's, you can do the same thing. But as technology advances, like presumably the Xbox One, it will be an HDMI only device, and then this will be useless to me. However, for the meantime, since we're still using Xbox 360s, we're still using HD DVRs with component out. I see that this device can be used for at least another 1 to 2 years, 3 at the max, or other older legacy devices, DVDs, and so. Alright, well, let's get into installing this thing, and I'll show you how. Alright guys, it's Eric again. Now we're going to go and do the install of the Avermedia Game Capture HD box. We have a power supply, we have a little nifty remote here, and also included in the package was some component videos, some separate audio video cables, and a component adapter for your Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii or Wii U. I have my laptop here that I'm going to turn on to do the firmware update. And I got this 32 gig flash drive from my local Best Buy today for $19.99. I'm always looking for good deals. They always have a week. They have specials going on for 16 gig, 32 gig at reasonable prices. This week was the PNY 32 gig, again for $19.99, and it does work with this particular model. I did try a Target brand, Dan Elect, whatever you call it, and it was not compatible with this one, but the PNY is. So you can use that for your recording, and also if you're using the hard drive, which I have in this model, that to get it to your PC, you would transfer it to a thumb drive to your PC, and then you can edit your videos and upload them to YouTube or wherever. So we're gonna get started. As you can see, my son, we have a 360. We have a pair of Turtle Beach X12s, and we are going to be installing it on this TV with that 360 right there. So just give me a minute to set up, and then I'll walk you through the setup process. Okay guys, first what I'm going to do is, this takes a little while, I'm going to go to the Avermedia website and get the new firmware update for this so we can record in MPEG-4 and in 1080p. My TV, however, here is only 720, so it can record in 1080p, but it will only display 720. So, but for the MPEG format is really what I need. So I'm just going to go to Google here, go to Avermedia, or type in Avermedia because I'm not too sure of their website address. Right here. And then we're going to go to support. We're going to look for application driver. And here we're going to look for a device. We're going to scroll down to the Game Capture HD C281, which I have listed here. And click go. And then we're going to get the firmware 3.3.8. Okay, I'm going to save the file. For all intents and purposes, I'm just going to let it download to the downloads file. It says it's going to take a minute or two. Okay. Now we're going to scroll over here. Now I know I'm doing a couple of cut edits, but I hate it when, you know, I want to see the actual install process of a product, and then when I get into it, they cut it and it's already finished. I'm going to show you how I'm going to install it, being the fact that, you know, I always have questions that say, well, how did they do this? How did they do that? So I'm just going to, you know, go through this. And you can watch me sweat. So I'm probably going to put the capture card here on top of my son's 360. So I have our power adapter, which I'm going to run through the back. I didn't even check, but I hope I have an open plug port. Looks like I do. Way down here, missed all these wires. So now we have power. Okay, so in the back of my son's TV, it looks like I used component already on this TV. I didn't go HDMI. Sometimes I forget with so many installs that I do. So I'm just going to unplug them. And here they are. Now this right here is for the Turtle Beach, is to get the game sound into your headset. They just piggyback off the white and red audio cables. I had to reroute some wires here. Looks like that. Alright, so here are the audio with the Turtle Beach piggybacks. I'm going to put them into the gain in. So keep in mind these wires are from the 360 and we're going to go to the in port of the capture box. Now I'm going to take these wonderful wires that were provided. So, keep in mind, I had already had component cables from my 360. I want to break that. So, the one that was included in the bag I am not going to use. You can set it aside, use it later. Maybe you have a Wii or a Wii U or a PS3 that you can't, utilize the HDMI, and this is a good piece of cable to hang on to. Alright, now we're going to go from out of the capture device. Here it's labeled TV out to the TV. Okay, audio. Now there's a bunch of wires. It'll be much easier with HDMI, one cable, two cable, but a little bit of old technology here. Missed it. Okay. Now I'm going to hook them to the TV. Putting everything back. Alright. And that's it. Well, we should have power. Now, like I said, this thing passes through without the unit being on. So, if I turn the TV on itself, we should get video. Turn that on. The component, and there we are. Xbox is on. I should have audio through the Turtle Beach. Yes, I do. Okay, so keep in mind the unit is off, and like I said, it's just passing through. So now I'm going to check my laptop to see if our download is done. And it is done. So let's pan over here. Okay, so it says that my file is done. Into my downloads folder. Now, if you read the instructions on the website, since I've done this before, you're supposed to unzip the file, which I'm going to do right now. And while that's doing that, I'm going to insert my flash drive. Okay, I'm going to click extract all, extract it in the same folder. Okay, now it's extracted. It's got 3 files on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 3 files, and you're supposed to put it into the root folder. If anyone doesn't know what a root folder is, it's just basically the first I have some okay. It's basically the first window that opens within the flash drive. This is flash drive D. You know, there's no folders inside of it. There's nothing else. This is what you call the root folder. So I'm just going to paste all 3 of them. Okay, that's done. We are going to safely eject it. Practice safety eject rules for thumb drives. Alright. Now, okay. Now we're going to turn the device on for the first time. And this usually happens. This is some of the thickeniness that I was talking about. When you turn it on, it cuts out the video. Now it displays its custom banner. And if your screen goes in and out a couple of times, it's okay. It's just the screen refreshing. So we're going to select English. We're in 2013. We're in July 15th. And the time is 9:28 p.m. Central Standard Time. Notice as I have a hard disk drive installed, so I went ahead and checked it. Now I have to format it real quick. And if you were to put a flash drive into this unit, it would do the same thing. Okay. You want to start using, yes, blah blah blah. I need to check the video settings of my son's. Doesn't look very well. Okay, I'm putting it at 1080p. I know we haven't done the firmware update yet, which we're going to do right now. Alright, so I'm taking my thumb drive and I'm placing it into the front USB port. I'm going to hit the menu button. I'm going to go to settings. We are going to go to firmware upgrade. You press F1 to upgrade. Now it's upgrading. Now remember, this firmware upgrade you have to do out of the box to be able to record in 1080p and to record in MPEG-4. Out of the box, it's only going to be 1080i, and you're only going to get an AVI file format. Stuck at 48%. There it goes. Had me sweating there for a minute. Thought I had a DOA. Almost done. And of course, after this, it has to install it. With the captures that I have played with already, I haven't done any game capture. I've done some video capture. I took a whole movie. I recorded the 9th gate out of it. Played it on my computer very, very well. What I wanted to do was be able to put it on a DVD. Now, in order to get an MPEG-4 to a DVD, you're going to have to convert it to a VOB file, which is what most standard DVD players recognize. Now, you can put it to a DivX, and if you have a DVD player that plays DivX files, it will play. However, I wanted a actual DVD file, and it's hard to find an actual converter to do it. And if you do, the ones that I have messed with, I'm not going to name any converters right now, but they take an awful lot of time just to convert. So, you know, if you have the time and the patience to want to put a full movie onto a DVD, it can be done. I have done it. It took a whole day to do it, to convert the file and then finally to burn it. But they call it DVD authoring. That converts it and burns it to DVD. But the image quality was very good. I do have several other capture devices that I've used. I've used Hauppauge PVR2, which is component video, but it's PC dependent as far as recording. But it does have pass-through where you don't have to have the PC like this Avermedia device is. There's no PC required. But on the Hauppauge PVR2, to capture, it is PC dependent. But you can, it has a standalone pass-through where you don't, need a PC to play your Xbox or any other device. Although the unit does need to be on the Avermedia, the unit doesn't have to be on the pass-through, but on the Hop-Hog it has to be on. I also have the Hop-Hog Gaming Edition PVR2, which is HDMI. It's got a little bit of problems. It's a really nice device. I like it, but it loses signal every once in a while. It's PC dependent. The PC has to be on for the video to pass through, you know. So I use it to record Rock Band gameplay, and I just have a laptop right on the side, you know, to capture and display. Other than that, I've tried the Elgato for the Mac. Gives great video, but the software, it glitches, it stops, it basically renders the capture card useless. And it's a nice nifty device. And you know, I don't have, you know, a cheap Mac. I have, you know, the 21-inch i5, and it should run it with no problems. And for some reason, that software it just glitches. Couldn't tell you why. I picked up the Roxio HD capture card. I haven't tried it out yet, but what looks cool about it, however, it is PC dependent, but you can use both HDMI and component video, which is pretty cool because you can switch on either one. I've read reviews on it. I've heard it's very clean imaging. I heard it's a step up above from what the previous version was, and they worked out a lot of kinks. But again, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm anxious to try it. So we're waiting for this thing to finally boot up after its firmware upgrade. Like I said, once it downloads it from the USB drive, then it's got to install it. Okay, I'm just going to pause to wait for this to boot up. I'm pretty sure you're bored of watching a blank screen. Alright guys, I'm back. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not too sure what happened after I left you. It stayed on the black screen. My TV was saying that resolution mode was not supported. Please check your external device. And the Avermedia capture box was just blinking, you know, after the firmware upgrade. So I took a chance and did something that you're not supposed to do while it's upgrading. I turned it off. And once I did a hard reset on it, came back, made me do the menu, the time and date and so forth. It recognized my hard drive, recognized the thumb drive. I selected which storage device to use, which was the hard drive. And I checked to see what firmware was on, and it did firmware update to the 3.3.8. So as far as I know, it's working. One other thing I did do, I did lower the resolution settings off of my Xbox 360. I had set it to 1080p. I lowered it back down to 720p. I'm seeing some video degrade here. I'm not too sure why. It could be the cable that it's used, the 360 that I'm using. Of course, it was working fine on my TV by itself, but since I hooked it up to the capture box, I'm showing some degrade. Not too sure why. I'm going to maybe change out the cable, use the one that came in the box, and see if I get a better picture that way. But let's do some game capture. Let's see how this thing rolls. Let's see what game my son has on here. Looks like Halo. So let's get into Halo. Put on my Turtle Beach just to make sure my son's Turtle Beach is working. If not, he would get so upset with me. And definitely some video degrade. I'm not liking it. My other one that I had installed previously that you saw in my bedroom, it's not like that. It's definitely something we're gonna have to figure out what's going on here. Oh, one thing, in the settings menu, you want to go into the settings and select how you want your video. Optimal uses more storage at 12 megabits per second. Good uses 10. Maximum uses 8. So obviously optimal is going to give you the highest video quality. Go back there. And you can also, while you're playing, you can take screen snapshots and have them saved. And here's a snapshot quality. You know, you got your better, good, better, best, and leave it on best. Alright, so just get into a match here. Infinity, War Games, find a game. There's this griff ball. Okay, what is this? I just want to play Slayer, so. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and hit the record button on the remote, and you're going to see a caption come up in the top corner saying it's recording, that I have 3,400 minutes available to record. And by the way, I'm only using a 320 gig hard drive, and as you can see, the capture device now has a red LED status light to let you know that it is recording. So what I'll do is after we record a little gameplay, I'll show you the actual footage. And by the way, I left the thumb drive in there because what I'm going to do is after we finish recording, I got to move it from the hard drive to the thumb drive so I can put it to the PC. Wish we could find a game. Oh, we're in War Games. Maybe that's one. Oh, it's supposed to be War Games. There we go. I'll tell you right now, guys, I don't like this degrading video that I'm seeing. It's not as sharp, it looks darker. Definitely a concern for me. I will do a follow-up video to see if I corrected the problem or not.
Infinity Slayer.
I'm not good at this game, so it's my son's Xbox, so. I can get some cool kills in here for me. Ah, not like that.
Lost the lead. Suicide. Gain the lead. Gain the lead. Lost the lead.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm not very good at this game. I'm trying to assassinate him, that's what I'm trying to get to. Ah! And I died. I got caught. There's a guy with a sword. Definitely some glitching going on here. Alright, so this is the video that I'm going to show you how it actually looks after I upload it. Did you see that guy? He disappeared. Look at that. Glitching. So, what I'm going to do is... My son's going to get mad at me. I'm going to exit. Now I'm going to stop the record, and I'll put this whole video file on. Okay, so just real quick. If you go to menu, you go to recordings. It's this little thing. I'm going to hit "Don't remind me again." Blah blah blah. And your recordings are supposed to be in here. Sometimes it takes a little, there it goes, for it to come in. You can just go in there. You can play it back on this if you wanted to. There it is. That's what we recorded. I'm going to stop it. It's a 7-minute video. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into file management. Oops, this is where I tell you it gets a little finicky. File management. Yeah, it's F1. Don't remind me again. Now it puts it into two windows. You got one, which is the hard drive, and one being, and the left side being the hard drive, the right side being the USB. So once we find our video, there it is. I'm going to select it, go into the right pane, go select that device. Now go up here to move file, copy to USB disk, and there we go. And by doing this, all I'm doing is copying the file from the hard drive to the USB disk so I can take it and put it onto my computer. So now I will take this and put it on as a movie file so you can see how image quality was.
Infinity Slayer. Eliminate the enemy team. Lost the lead. gained the lead. Lost the lead.